Men, specifically husbands, today we're going to talk about 5 tips for helping your wife get along better with your mother. Now, I encourage you to watch this video with your wife, but I discourage you from watching it with your mother. Because here's the thing, the real battle is to get on the same page with your wife. Here's how you need to think about it. If you want to have a healthy marriage, you want to make sure that you are on the same page with your wife, that you have a oneness relationship with your wife. So many marital conflicts come up when the husband doesn't understand that he was supposed to leave his family of origin, that means his mommy, and become one with his wife. Now, this doesn't mean you're mean to your mom. This doesn't mean you're a jerk. This just means you know your priorities. So here's the first tip. Listen to your wife. One of the greatest skills you can learn in your marriage is to learn how to listen. Don't just talk, learn how to listen. If you're watching this video, it's because there's clearly a problem between your wife and your mother. And so first things first, listen to your wife, try to understand what the problem is, make sure that you understand it from her perspective. Now, you might have your own opinion about the problem, but make sure that you listen to your wife. That's your first tip. Here's the second tip. Help your wife to draw boundaries. So if your wife feels stressed out because your mother-in-law comes over all the time, help your wife draw boundaries. Say, listen, maybe we need to say, hey, you can't just come over unannounced whenever you want to. I don't know, whatever your boundaries need to be. One of the most healthy things that you can do for your marriage is to establish boundaries in terms of your relationship with your in-laws. Again, it doesn't mean you hate your in-laws. It doesn't mean you never want to see them. You're prioritizing your wife so that you can have a healthy wife, so that you can have a healthy, happy life. Tip number 3, ask your wife what she needs from you. Don't try to guess at this. You know, maybe you've been put in a situation before, your mom texts you or she calls you or something, and she sort of is putting you in the middle of this relational dilemma. One of the simplest ways to resolve this, men, is to ask your wife, hey, listen, when that happens, how can I most honor you? What would you have me do? Ask what she needs from you. Ask how you can be the man here. Ask how you can love her more. Ask how you can respond in a way that makes her feel secure. Ask your wife what she needs from you, and then do everything you can to do that thing. And that leads to the next tip. Make your wife feel secure in your love. See, here's what happens just relationally with us as people, and this happens definitely in relationships between daughters-in-law and their mother-in-law, right? They want to gain the love or respect of the mother or the father, and so they feel insecure in that relationship, and so then that just creates more problems, and it makes it hard for you to draw boundaries. It makes it hard for you to really speak your mind. So husbands, here's part of the solution to that. Make sure that your wife knows that she is a priority to you, and that your relationship is number one, and that she is secure in your love for her. What's going to probably happen is the more secure she feels in her love from you, then the less she'll seek it out in that relationship with your mom or your dad, and a lot of those problems might just go away. The real issue here is your relationship with your wife. That's the one that has to be healthy. That's the one that needs the right boundaries. That's the one that needs the most attention. And all the other relationships will take care of themselves if you truly have a loving, secure, healthy marital relationship. Now, here's my last tip. Talk to your mother for the both of you. What I mean by that is, don't say to your wife, yeah, you should say that's a good point. You should say that to her. Probably it would be healthier for you to talk to your mother for the both of you. You could do it one-on-one, or you could do it as couples, you and your wife, and your parents sit down and say, hey, could we just talk through some things that we've noticed? This is you speaking now, we feel this pressure, or we feel this tension, or we feel this bitterness rising up in our own hearts, and we're not good with that. We don't want that. We want a healthy relationship with you. So here's what we've talked about. You see how that's setting the tone? Men, where you're taking the lead, you're articulating it. You're not saying, well, my wife feels this way. She feels, I love you, Mom. I think you're fantastic. But she feels, no, that's terrible. That is a recipe for destruction in your own marriage. So speak to your mother for you and your wife. That means you need to own the situation. You need to speak it from your own heart. You need to understand where your wife is, and then you should speak about it in terms of we. This is how we feel. Because remember, here's the ultimate goal. If you have a relationship that is healthy and right and good, and you know how to communicate right with your wife, and maybe now that's something you need to go work on, but if you know how to do that, then all those other relationships, including the relationship that your wife has with your mother, all of those relationships can be better. Hey guys, thanks for watching. I know, listen, that's a dicey topic, so I'll put some questions below so that you can talk about it with your men's group or with a mentor or with your wife. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel so that you can see our newest topics every Monday when they come out. And if you've got a suggestion for a topic that you want me to cover, just put it in the comments below.